Welcome to Smashing PBs, brought to you by 40 Thieves Nut Butters, New Zealand's best peanut butter for fueling everyday and epic adventures. I'm your host, Shyr Godfrey. Join me for inspiring conversations with Kiwis who push boundaries, do things differently, and smash their personal bests. In this episode, I'm talking to Phil Cui. He's the founder of Year Bowl and Icemunity, two businesses built around daily habits like good food and improved mobility. Phil also happens to be the most flexible person I've ever met. He's a big advocate on testing personal limits and instilling simple habits to help live life more intentionally. Phil, it's so nice to have you here. I have been following you online for a long time now. Obviously, we sort of hooked you guys up with some peanut butter a little while ago for one of your I always want to say Mutiny, but it's Icemunity events, I get it. For one of your Icemunity events, I'm too scared to do it myself, but maybe you'll have to. Yeah, maybe in summer. Yeah, when it's hot and I've been running or something and it's cools you down. But yeah, I've been following you for a while and I'm super, super excited that you have agreed to come on the Smashing PBs podcast. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get started, you're living the brand this morning. Where were you?
I was hosting a mobility session up in Ponsonby Central.
Okay.
With Triumph and Disaster. So,
amazing.
Yeah,
okay.
Dom was there this morning.
And now you're here.
No, I'm here.
I will jump straight in then. I want to know about movement. I find movement fascinating. It's something that as children, we have to do as part of schooling. And then after that, at some point, some people continue it and some people stop. So tell me about what movement means to you and what your current routine looks like.
Movement is obviously essential. It's your health. Like you can't be healthy without, being able to move. So I like to promote like a holistic kind of movement practice. So, mastering the body, mastering body weight movements before, lifting heavy things and going to the gym. Which, with mobility this morning, it was cool to teach people there's like simple moves that they can do every day. It's like I kind of talk about mobility being like brushing your teeth, daily hygiene. You just want to keep doing it because when you stop, that's when you start to your body starts to forget and lose it. That's
so interesting. Thinking about children again, they are flexible from the get-go, and then somewhere along the line, unless you continue to, as you say, practice it like brushing your teeth, like rituals every day. 100%. You just lose it. You can't touch your toes. You can't all sorts of things that we probably should be able to do if we just did it every day. Yeah,
well, because daily life kind of doesn't allow you to don't move in those positions. We're sitting, we're driving in our cars all day. So what's my movement? I obviously go to the gym.
Yes.
But I promote calisthenics, which is more like a body weight kind of practice, with extra weight as well, with like resistance.
Yes.
But I like to just do it all.
What does tell me about like a few body weight exercises for anyone who doesn't know what that might be?
Super simple, like pull-ups, dips, push-ups, like anything that you can just do with your body.
Do you think everybody should be able to do pull-ups? Is that something
so,
that?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Okay. Like, imagine if you were obviously, stuck somewhere and you need to pull yourself up.
You can't pull yourself up.
You need the strength to, save yourself.
And what kind of what parts, like for a pull-up? Is it core strength? Is it full body? Like, what is it exactly?
Upper body strength. Upper body. But a lot of like the body is being used in that movement. So, yeah.
Okay, and what are you loving the most right now?
Oh, it's hard because I'm just a curious guy, so I love to push the body and like explore the potential of the human body. So, at the moment, I'm in my mid-30s.
Yes.
I feel just as strong as I was, if not more better, like stronger than I was in my 20s.
Amazing.
More mobile, more flexible. I feel like I'm knocking years off as opposed to knocking them on.
I love it.
So yeah.
Tell me about Phil as a child. Like, what were you always interested in movement, or is it something that came later in life?
Sports. It was always sports.
Yeah. What were your sports of choice?
Basketball was the first one, and then volleyball.
Yes.
And beach volleyball.
Okay. Did you ever get injured?
No, not really, because the beach, you fall on sand.
Wow.
Basketball, not really a contact sport. Yeah. Well, it can be, but not
Did you pull things, or did you,
No, I was actually quite good.
Okay.
It was just like, normal injuries.
Yes.
But Yeah, no, I was always a sports first kind of guy.
Okay.
I didn't really step foot in the gym until like, early 20s, mid 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what brought you to the gym? Was it
My friend.
People were okay.
Yeah,
Someone
a friend
was
like, come along,
Yes.
you'll like it. And I was like, nah, I'll just stick to basketball.
Yeah. And then you went.
And then I went, and then I got hooked, and then I just became obsessed and curious about like what the body could do.
Yes.
Did
you see yourself progress in different ways? Like once you entered the gym?
Yeah. It was like, your standard go to the gym.
Yes.
Then I started doing like, the calisthenics, bodyweight stuff.
I feel like most people that step into a gym, I know in my experience, it's straight away like there's this idea that you should be lifting the heaviest thing possible. So how did you decide, or who taught you that you should be focusing first on body weight?
Well, no, I think I did follow that traditional
You did as well.
path. Yeah,
Yes.
It was just build strength, just keep lifting,
Yes.
go for size. And then I guess once you start to mature in the gym and like start to learn a few things,
Yes.
I was like, okay, there's more to just this kind of two-dimensional lifting.
Yes.
So I started to dive deeper into, there's more like kind of natural movements, body weight movements, mastering like the body first.
Yeah.
And now, I'm doing that through mobility and flexibility.
Yes.
Which I only just started, when lockdown started. So only like in my 30s.
So you were telling me before that you weren't like super flexible
No.
Wow, so there's hope for people like me.
Oh, 100%. Like you can definitely start.
Incredible.
In
And
your
tell
40s.
me like what that looked like. Like what was your, one day you said, I guess as you said, it was a natural progression. You matured in the gym and then you thought, I guess, how did that path start?
Well, I'm a big one for setting a goal.
Yes.
And when obviously lockdown happened, we couldn't work.
Yes.
You had
Couldn't
extra
go to the
time.
gym.
You couldn't go to the gym. You couldn't do anything. So it was fine. I could still work out. But then I wanted something to like kind of strive for. And I just set a goal of doing the splits.
Wow.
And I was like,
so you couldn't do that before?
No.
That's incredible.
No, I was pretty stiff. Like I would, get a sore low back.
Yes.
After like a 4K run.
Wow.
And then once I started, doing the movements every morning to start off with in lockdown, it started getting better. And I just stayed consistent.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, I know myself included, I've sort of just decided, I'm just not one of those kind of people. I'm just not a flexible person, and I also know I don't do the work. So I'll go for a run. It's just terrible. I know it's terrible, and I'll just not stretch. I'll just be like, cool, I just did 12Ks, and then I'll just get on with my life, and then I'm like, I wonder why things hurt, and I know why, but in my head, I like just did an hour of work. I can't be bothered doing that extra 20 minutes or whatever it is, which is vital. So,
but it doesn't need to be 20 minutes. Honestly, like you just need to do like 5.
Yeah.
5. Everyone's got time for 5 minutes.
Yes,
like,
everyone's
if you
got time for 5.
To scroll, you got time. You got 5
You're
minutes.
100% right. Yes, it's prioritizing.
Yeah.
And knowing that making those small changes every single day actually has a huge impact. I mean, lockdown wasn't that long ago, and now, I mean, some of the videos that you share online of the, your mobility is super impressive. So to know that wasn't something that you grew up doing. You don't come from a gymnastics background.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I was just a regular dude, just playing sports.
Striving to be his personal best.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so that's mobility. So I can see where the passion comes from. It's trial and error and seeing the success, little bits at a time. What other kind of daily rituals do you include that you think are important? Around food or around, I don't know, anything.
I guess main one would be just setting time aside for yourself, like some solitude time.
Okay.
Silence. Just to really, focus on your thoughts and just sift out the noise.
Okay.
Because we're always constantly bombarded with notifications and
So true.
noise. So, and a lot of the time, your thoughts get lost in that.
Do you write down the thoughts? Do you journal, or do you like to just sit?
I don't
in them?
journal, but I just scribble a lot. I write.
Okay.
There's so many bits of paper.
Do you read them
notes.
again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they're all organized in my my bag and my file.
Okay.
And I'll see them, and then it'll just remind me, of what I was doing that day or whatever that thought was.
Do you think there's a benefit of doing it with a pen and paper versus digital?
I like to push pen to paper.
Yes.
Just because we're always on our phones, and solitude is a big one, and then just delayed gratification.
Okay.
Ice baths,
Yes.
runs.
I think it sounds like torture.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a cold ice bath, but I know that there's so much research showing that it's really good for you. So tell me how you got started with that and what your thoughts are about it.
Okay, how we got started. It was just me and a friend.
Yes.
Yeah, over lockdown. Like, we were just sitting there listening to podcasts.
Yes.
Podcasts were just on the rise back then. And yeah, Andrew Huberman talked about, doing 11 minutes of cold bathing like a week.
Yep.
Like, it leads to all the benefits.
What kind of benefits do you know of?
Well, you got mental benefits. You
Yes.
got like physical, like that people know, like reducing inflammation.
Okay.
But then you've also got the benefits of like your hormones.
Yes.
Rewiring your brain to do hard things.
Yes.
And then there was the natural dopamine that you got from sitting in a couple minutes of cold water.
Yeah.
It was like having like 4 coffees.
Yes.
Without even having any.
That's incredible.
Just the natural dopamine high was just like a strong pull for us. We're
Okay.
like, we all
why
want to
not
feel
try it?
good.
Yes.
And it's all natural and it's pretty much free. Just jumping in some cold water.
Yeah.
So me and a friend wanted to explore that route, that tool, and we just bought some ice. I had a tub tucked in the garage somewhere.
Yes.
We yanked it, pulled it out, and then
Were you surprised that you were capable, or are you always trying to find?
Well, at the
something?
start, we didn't actually buy enough ice.
Oh,
so it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
And then the next day, we were like, okay, let's up it to 9 bags of ice each. So we just got
Dump
9
them in.
bags.
Yes.
And then that was the struggle.
Okay.
But the feeling and the high afterwards was just amazing.
Do you get the same high each time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah, if not better.
Wow, because you know what you're about to get, and then you get it, and then you're out, you're done, and the air probably feels really hot compared to the...
100%. Yeah,
Okay, well, look, I have jumped in the cold ocean. It's not the same thing. But I do know the feeling, and I always say that it's like the most exhilarating feeling. But
it is. So imagine that times like 5
But the
or
problem
6.
is I feel like it's the confinement that like for me is a deterrent. Like with the ocean, you can kind of like move.
Yeah. But our tubs are quite big, so you've got space.
But you're
So
supposed
you
to be still, right? You're supposed to, or not.
It
you can do what you
doesn't really
want.
matter as long as you're in there for that amount of time.
All right. Okay.
Obviously, staying still actually is harder. I mean, it's, I guess, easier in a way.
Yep.
Because like your body creates that thermal layer.
Okay.
Where like if you're in the ocean, you're constantly moving.
Yes.
Your body's somewhat warming up.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think that's probably why. Yeah, you quickly swim. You're trying to. Get your
but it's just like sitting in stillness. It's great for the mind as well as the body.
Incredible. Does it? I mean, you mentioned doing hard like rewiring your brain to believe that you can do hard things.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I really do, because I think. For me, I'm not an athlete, but I run 3 days a week, and it's always hard. I don't think you get, you obviously know the hardness, and and you become comfortable with it, and you understand it. Whereas I think for like a first time runner, or someone who they'll run and they'll hate it because they're afraid of the unknown, that uncomfortable feeling. But you're almost like comfortably uncomfortable when you've done something a lot. So I love the idea though that. You do those hard things, and then afterwards, for the rest of the day, whatever that hard thing was, you can like bask in the glory of it. You can enjoy it and you can feel fulfilled from it. I guess how do you obviously Icemunity is a community event. It's not just doing it on your own. I guess you use the encouragement of other people.
Yes.
Tell me about that and how it feels to watch other people doing hard things and what each other, what is a first timer in an ice bath? What do they like? What is the general experience that you've witnessed?
They tend to surprise themselves a lot, because a lot of people put that kind of mental like barrier, like, oh, I can't do it, and I don't like to use the word can't. That just you just haven't tried it.
I haven't done it yet.
You haven't done it yet, so like you can't. You just don't want to. But like once you get there, and it's so cool to see that kind of tick in people's like heads and minds when I watch them, because obviously if it's the first time I like to make sure that everyone's having a positive experience or like they know what to do and they're not freaking out, because the first time I did mine it was before COVID, but my mate had taken me to like a cold plunge and just left me there and he was like, I'm gonna go for a swim at the pool while you can do this cold plunge. And I just had no idea. This was like years ago.
Yes.
And I just thought, okay, cool, just jump in and then just sit there for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, because no one taught me how to breathe
Wow.
through it, because it's all in the breath. The power
Yes.
through ice baths
Yes.
is through your breath.
I believe
and,
it.
And slowing down your heart rate.
Yes.
So
by your breath work can actually slow down your heart rate.
well, yeah, by slowing down the tempo of your
I
breathing,
see. Yes.
you'll slow down. You'll tell the heart that in the body that it's all good, that
Yes.
it's safe.
Yeah. Yes, that's
no
part
need to
of
freak
it.
out.
Yes.
I
I chose this.
Yeah, exactly. I chose this.
I'm not under attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So maybe like that first, 10 seconds, you gasp, but if you can really drop into that breathing,
Yes.
you'll be sweet.
Wow.
But back to what you asked me. Would you ask me?
Yeah, I guess first. So you created a bit of a community. So you'll bring the baths. How many baths will you bring normally to an event? 2 baths.
It's just nice to have like 2, because like most people come in
with a friend and they can go together.
Yeah, or if you're 2 single people, it's a kind of shared bond.
Okay, I love
and it's
that.
cool to see people like bond over like doing hard things.
Yes.
Because if 2 people click and they're like both interested in these things, so they can either become friends or like
hit it off.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's quite cool.
So
I love seeing that.
it's an interesting. Have you ever had is it like a bit of a matchmaking? Have you ever matched anyone?
I've not done it personally. I think it's just been natural.
Yeah.
Smashing PBs is brought to you by 40 Thieves, award-winning producers of New Zealand's tastiest peanut butter, almond butter and superfood butters. Every spoonful is packed with protein, healthy fats and all the goodness you need for fueling everyday and epic adventures. Grab your next jar at your local Woolworths, New World, Pack and Save and the Warehouse supermarkets and start smashing your personal bests.
I've read that that if you put yourself in high adrenaline situations, you actually get these like feelings of love, and sometimes people fall in love with someone that they have done, like say skydiving or something like high adrenaline, or the person that was with them in that experience, they instantly have this attraction to them.
Chemical.
Yes. So it's actually quite a unique, maybe a new business idea, like
could do speed
matchmaking,
dating,
ice dating. That's funny.
But no, I think that's the beauty of it, it's more human, and like it's just so cool to like share these things with like-minded people.
I guess everybody that shows up, even if some of them are just watching for the day and they don't want to participate, but they're thinking about it.
And that's what happens a lot of the time. Like like 4 friends would come, 1 would chicken out.
Yes.
And then after that, seeing 3 friends like feel so good, so like elevated and excited.
Yeah.
They just can't not.
They just want to have a go.
They want to have a go. Yeah. It's amazing.
Oh, I love it. It's almost it's kind of like, I guess again with the high adrenaline, like a roller coaster or just something it's in your mind. Half the struggle is you imagining what it's going to be like. But when you actually do it, it's not very long. Like what's 3 minutes?
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
What is 3 minutes?
All right, I might be slowly getting convinced. Watch this space. No, very cool. Okay, so all right, so we've got we've talked about mobility, we've talked about cold plunges. Tell me about Year Bowl. You've got another casual business on the side. It's incredible that you're managing so many different things. But first talk me through how you got into healthy food. Maybe what Year Bowl's about, and then I'll ask you a little bit about how you prioritize or how you manage to do all of them.
Okay. Well, Year Bowl was essentially my first vehicle into like business.
Yes.
Spent 6 weeks traveling with a friend, came back, didn't really have a job, so thought I'd just
start a business.
Job. I was obviously, midway through training, enjoyed healthy, cooking whole foods and all that kind of stuff. And I just saw a lot of poke shops in the States.
Yes.
I think it had boomed in 2014, and this was 2017.
Okay.
So usually takes 5 years to get down to our little New Zealand.
Yes.
I just bit the bullet, found a space in Takapuna.
Amazing.
And then just winged it.
And how did you design all the meals? Did you get some support from,
just
chefs
friends.
or wow?
No,
So
just friends.
You just figured it out.
Because I was always into cooking and making healthy meals and food.
Yeah.
I was like, what's so hard about putting whole foods together
in a bowl, in a colourful,
it was half of it was for aesthetic, color matching, and and then the other half was just blending the flavors together. I just did like a few different like days with friends. We're like, hey, come over, try these flavors, and just give me your honest thoughts.
Yeah. What's your bestseller?
Bestseller, I think at the moment, probably the beef bowl. Yeah.
What's in
the
it?
The beefy boy, and then I think the salmon one will always
salmon
go.
will, classic.
Yeah, the beefy boy is just like a sous vide kind of beef.
Okay.
With some pickled ginger, some Jap mayo, some miso like dressing, and some shallots.
Interesting.
Super simple, nothing like crazy. Yeah.
And how did you grew up with your parents owning a takeaway shop?
Yes. Yeah.
How, I mean, I guess you took some of the learnings about, feeding the public, but totally different food. Tell me about what, like, your experience was watching them in a takeaway shop. And were you, like, sometimes roped in?
I was always roped in. Okay. You had to, like, if you wanted to live in this house, you had to work.
So what did you have to do?
Started off, like, flipping burgers.
Oh, yeah.
Just like SpongeBob, flipping burgers. And then taking, like, orders, just because, like, my English was, like, better than my parents. So I'd take the front of house and like the burgers. I used to have to like bus from Manukau City, like out South Auckland, all the way to the shore.
Is that so? Your parents' place was on the shore? Yeah,
we had a place on the shore, like the shop was on the shore, but we were living in South Auckland back then.
Yes.
So I would, like, as a 10-year-old, had to bus from there all the way to the shore.
Wow.
It was wild.
That's a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mum showed me once. And then she was like, "You're sweet, eh? Cool. I'll see you on the shore."
I feel like, I guess where did your parents immigrate from?
They're Chinese.
Okay, often immigrants, they just have a bigger hustle in them.
Yeah, 100%.
My parents immigrated as well.
Yeah.
There's a bit more of a hustle. You got to push harder. You got to, and they're not afraid to use. You're not afraid to use their kids, to help like the family cause.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is it's cool. Like I think it helps set you up.
I learned a lot, like from my dad, like just being there and seeing all this stuff. So that obviously transferred to Yebo but at the same time, obviously after working there at such a young age, I just hated like hospital. I was like, I'm not ever going to be in this industry ever. And then
one day you're like, I guess I know how to do it, and I've got a point of difference.
I was like, it's not deep fried stuff. It's not oily.
It's
something I could eat every day. So
that's awesome. And So you mentioned Takapuna. That was your first one.
Yes.
And where else have you opened up?
It was Takapuna first.
Yes.
Obviously winged it.
Yes.
Should have asked for help. And then opened in Britomart.
Yes.
And then that slowly became the main focus.
The main one. Is the Takapuna one still there?
No, it's gone.
No,
yeah. So we moved to the city and then had to just drop that one off.
Yep.
I
think though, I'm also, I believe that, the more you fail, the better you obviously you learn from every experience.
Yeah, it's not a fail. It's,
exactly. It's just a learning.
Exactly.
So what did you learn from starting in Takapuna? I mean, that's an expensive place. Not that Britomart isn't either, but
you'll be surprised.
Okay. Takapuna would have been probably really high rent.
It's probably the same.
Yes,
but
without the
I went into it with a vision of like this big space, and I started off in the big space where I should have actually just started small, like a little keyhole.
Yes.
But hey,
you experienced
you live and you learn.
Yeah. But I love that though. So you tried something out, and the bits that worked, you transferred over,
now
and the bits that didn't work, you left.
Yeah, so now we're literally all in the one store I've got now is like in a keyhole, like small store.
Yeah.
So I think progressing, moving forward, we'll probably just stick to that model.
Yeah. And I guess it's it makes sense because in a way it is a takeaway shop. But you're offering something different, because I think when most people think takeaways, they do think fried food.
Yes.
Even gourmet takeaways, they still end up being fried. They just, I don't know, the chips are fatter and there's a piece of lettuce in there, but it's kind of the same food. It's just like a bit fancier. So
fancier, a bit of produce.
I think what I love about Year Bowl is that you are offering the same easeability, that same you don't have to make it yourself that day, but it doesn't mean you have to, I guess, mess up, I don't know, for lack of another word, your eating habits. You can get somebody else to do the hard work, eat something that tastes really good, and it's still good for you as well.
Yeah, we just need more of that kind of stuff around. Like if you go to Aussie, like they're everywhere, like quick, healthy takeaway options. Where here we don't have a whole lot.
And how do you find that from a business perspective? Like, do you find you have to do a lot of education around why people should have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of the times, when I used to work in the store, luckily I've got like two good managers. But But yeah, I used to hear people walk past and say, "That's too healthy," or like, "Oh, I had healthy food yesterday." It's like, what does that even mean? You know?
Yeah.
It's like saying you're too clean, so I'm not going to have a shower today.
Yes.
Like, you know, it's weird.
Yeah, I guess. It's a case of like, that re-education is so challenging. But I guess sampling, once they try it and they see that, actually healthy can be delicious.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we like to promote. Yeah,
nice.
It's delicious, but then it's good for you.
Exactly. So how do all these worlds collide? Like, obviously I can see it's all part of a bit of a holistic lifestyle, but how do you split your time in making sure that like your mobility workshops and your passion for physical health, how does that work with like the community events you're creating with Icemunity, and then Year Bowl? How do you juggle it all? And stay, and you look like you're, as you say, you're shaving years off, not adding them on. So how do you do it? What's the magic?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm just trying to build a good team. Luckily at Year Bowl, I've got a good team there, so there's not a whole lot I need to do too much there, because I've done the work in the earlier years. So now I'm trying to build out the Icemunity stuff, kind of figure out where I want to take that, because it's like a community, like I guess organization, or just an event kind of platform. So I'm just trying to figure out where to kind of move that. And then I've always been someone that chases like passion and fun. So like everything that I do is, like I said, an extension of me. It's all my interests. Like I've kind of just pursued everything that I enjoy doing. So with the mobility thing, I really think I would like to settle into that.
Amazing. Would you say that your physical, like your discipline, with the training, does that translate into how you run your businesses?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, discipline. Yeah.
What do you do when you're in a rut and you don't feel like working on something, or like this morning you mentioned you had a workship? Like, was there a moment where you didn't feel like going, or what do you do in those moments?
No, I love my mornings.
Okay.
Mornings are great.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is what I've decided to do, and like I enjoy it. Like because if it's not fun, I tend to not pursue it. But I just love the way the mobility makes people feel, and like makes me feel. I feel a lot of people need to experience feeling good.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people don't feel good a lot of times.
Yeah. And they just accept it.
Yeah, and like I wake up pretty much every day feeling great.
Awesome.
I just feel so good. I just want people to feel it as well. So that's why I share the ice bar. It's like, hey, this is what I've been doing. Like, this is how I've been eating. This is how I've been moving. Maybe you guys should try that, and you'll feel
Do you have any, like, I guess, examples of people that have come to you for support and you've seen them changing, like you've seen them change their habits and that change their mindset?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. I obviously work with clients as well. But I do see it around the people. Also online socials. And friends that obviously, adapt some of the stuff that you've, been doing or been sharing. And that's also
talk to me about social media. How does that play a part in your life? On one hand, like everything you do is so in the moment, but on the other hand, you've also managed to develop a really strong presence online. You've got like incredible content, beautiful photography. How does it all? What does social media mean to you?
I think it's just vital for business. Like, we're moving into that world where you've got to have a presence online. You got to invest in it. But then that also comes down to like I said, spending that time alone, finding solitude, and just like finding times to go offline as well. So that's another thing that I like to promote and like to do myself. Is just spend some time where like you don't listen to anything, you don't listen to music or
no
podcast, no doom scrolling. Just get yourself in nature where there's no reception, so then you're forced to just disconnect.
I love that.
So I kind of like to balance both those worlds that way.
No, that's amazing. I wanted to ask also about, well, you mentioned nature. Like, I guess living in New Zealand, there's so many places that you can go, and explore nature. Have you ever done anything like have you ever brought any of your businesses, like for example Icemunity, like into nature, to be and like sort of pulling in from our natural setting?
Yeah, I guess Icemunity started in our mate's backyard.
Yes.
And then now I do it in Takapuna, just overlooking, you might have seen the
beach.
The beach, the Rangitoto Island. So a lot of the practices I like to do in like just beautiful settings.
Yeah.
A huge part of like the view, like a huge part of the experience is always the view.
Yes.
And like the sun, ground, like grass, greenery, nature. So yeah, no, I'm heavy on,
Yes.
yeah, being in beautiful, New Zealand nature. Yeah.
I wonder if, I guess your time catching the bus from 10 years old, exploring half of Auckland.
Yeah.
And it's funny how, your parents' takeaway shop was in Takapuna, and now, your first year bowl was there, and now, Icemunity's there. Do you feel like, is it Rangitoto? Is it the water? Or like, what
I think
is
it's
it?
just close to the beach.
It's close
just
to the beach, yeah.
being like
Yes.
in view of like the ocean, or being accessible, like having the ocean accessible.
Yes.
Within like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's key. Yeah.
There's nothing that beats the ocean.
Honestly.
We're so lucky. I feel like that's something that we're so lucky to have in New Zealand, is just like
100%.
beaches everywhere.
Yeah.
Amazing. And what about, I guess you also did jiu-jitsu. Is that right?
No? I've always wanted to.
Oh, so I've tapped on something that you want to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But there's just a lot of things I want to do.
Yeah.
It's just finding the time.
Okay.
But I think maybe once I get older,
Yes.
I'll probably dabble. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What is it about it that draws your interest?
From what I've been told, or like what I've seen,
Yes.
it's just like human Tetris, like
Wow.
because it's non-contact. You're just trying to figure out a puzzle.
Yeah.
And I like love that. It's great.
Okay.
And you're moving your body in a natural way.
Yes.
And I think what I've been doing will transfer quite nicely over.
Yeah, I can see
we'll
that.
See.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I see that.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. And what about obviously, like, you have created community with people that are interested, but what about people in your like family or your circles growing up that might have not had this sort of epiphany moment, these like, this or natural progression to live like this? What do they think about this lifestyle? Like, do you ever get any negative feedback, or is there anything that you ever have to kind of work against that you, I guess growing up, that your lifestyle now might be different from it was, but like what it might have been earlier on? Is there any sort of pushback or anything you have to go up against?
Just I guess parents, like what they want you to do and what they encourage you to do. And
Yes.
I don't know. I think I've always just taken like a pay cut and just gone for like the passion, like rise.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fuel my passion, if I
Yes.
don't really care too much about the money. Like it'll come because, I know that I can offer the value, and I'll find some sort of way to make more money. But at this time in life, I think I like to pursue the more passion side of things.
And I think I love that, because there's a famous story about like a man who, sees a fisherman and he says, how many fish are you catching? And he's just 5, 10 or whatever it is. And he says, well, why don't you get, the boat and a better rod? And he goes, what will I do? And he goes, then you'll buy more boats and you'll buy, to progress. And he goes, and then what will you do with your time? And it ends up being like a description of what he's already doing. And I think about that all the time, because you do, sometimes it's for glory, sometimes it's for like a dream that you think, you always sort of like, as a fellow business owner, you're striving towards a particular moment. Like for 40 Thieves, we're trying, to be a pantry staple in everybody's, in New Zealand and abroad. But ultimately, our like mission statement is fueling every day in epic adventures. And it's like, it's so great for us to have that mission, because it means that we are able to, and on the weekends, or if you've got a spare moment during the week, to make sure that we're living and breathing that mission and not just following the growth. I think in business, like growth is sort of like, you have to grow your business for it to kind of survive.
100%.
But if you're like, what is the outcome that you're after? And I guess, in your case, you're saying, I'm happy to pursue my desired lifestyle right now.
Yeah.
Rather than waiting for this moment in the future where I've like unlocked it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's legendary because not everybody can see that. I think it's the journey that you're enjoying as well.
That's a huge thing I promote. Is just enjoy the journey. You know,
yes. Yeah. Well, what would your ideal day look like? Give me the best day you could have.
Oh, wow. Ideal day. Start off with some sort of delayed gratification where it's like cold sauna or like just a light run. Nothing too crazy for the nervous system in the morning. And then, just a slow, hold a good breakfast. And then maybe tuck into a couple hours of work. Yeah. I like to do short 90-minute bout sprints. Yeah. And then change to something else, whether it's filming content or doing things outside of sitting down. Yeah. And then do a workout midday, midday-ish. Yeah. That'll be a good day. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's just all around movement and just having a good balanced lifestyle, really.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. But second to last question, you've designed your favorite day and you know that it's good for your mental and physical health. For someone who's right now, on their computer 10 hours a day, on the phone when they get home, not exercising, not eating well, how do you get out of it? What's the first step? If they're interested, what's the first step to kind of changing your lifestyle when it feels far away?
Oh, well, just start exercising, start moving first.
Yeah.
Because once you start moving the body, things start to take over. You start to, find things that you enjoy. And you're just gonna feel good, You're just gonna start feeling good, and then your thoughts are gonna start, changing. They're gonna start blossoming. So, start by moving, and then ask yourself what are you enjoying what you're doing? Yeah. Is this taking you is this fueling your passion? You're being creative in some way or shape or form. And then, once you get to that point, it's are you happy? Yeah. That's a huge one. Yes. Just asking yourself, am I happy here? Do I like this job? If you're whining about your boss or complaining all the time, what are you doing? Just change.
Don't be afraid to try something.
Yeah, exactly. Go learn something. You can learn so much now for free. Yeah. And then, just figure out what's another one? I guess if there's something that you're constantly thinking about, when you're in the shower or when you're driving, maybe pursue that. Start. Yeah,
what's stopping you from being that person? What is the barrier?
Yeah, what are you into? Find that passion project and start, watering that and start, chipping away at that. Yeah,
I love it. Okay, well, my very last question is: are you smooth or crunchy?
Crunchy.
Okay. This one's for you. Yeah. Okay, we're going to cheers with the peanut butters. All right. Yeah, cheers to Smashing PBs. Getting out there and smashing your next PB.
Hey, awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Smashing PBs, brought to you by 40 Thieves, New Zealand's best peanut butter for fueling every day and epic adventures. If this episode inspired you, please subscribe and share with like-minded legends. Now go grab a jar of 40 Thieves from your local supermarket and start smashing PBs.